It's also why I have a liking for alternative women.
After that, they seriously debated on expelling me from elementary school.
And then woke up a few hours later with his trousers round his ankles.
And the reason I'm not like a social R word is that I went to...
And she's ruined me ever since. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. You ruined me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to NBR Podcast Episode 6. Once again, the entire NBR crew is not here. Sadly, we are missing Caden. But today is a very interesting day because we will be taking you back on a journey through our upbringings and telling you some very embarrassing stories of our upbringings, including the school. And I know Fox Akimbo has this story. He's been telling us about it. I know a little bit about it. I don't think these other guys do, but we're about to get into it right now. Fox, take it away.
Let me take the floor. So I don't know. I feel like I've told this story to some of you guys, but Kyle said you didn't know what it was.
You told me on our trip to Tennessee. You told us the story.
Was it when we were in Tennessee?
Yes,
okay, so basically,
So Ray probably doesn't know the story either.
No,
I do not know it.
Okay,
you don't. Okay,
so genuine reactions here. Okay,
I think that Jared had asked me about absinthe. Do you guys know what absinthe is?
Yes.
I don't.
But for the audience, why don't you explain it?
So it's an alcohol. It's like a green alcohol, right?
The green one. Yeah, I do know what that is.
The green
actually.
one, which people are like, I've never had it, right? But it's deadly. And the reason I know this was because of a tall tale that went round my sixth form when I was growing up. So sixth form for anyone who's So for anyone who's not from the UK, a sixth form is a stage of school in the UK that you go to right before you're about to head to like university. So you have primary school, which is like preschool, which is like 2 to 4, primary school, which is like 4 to 11, secondary school, which is 11 to 16, and then sixth form where you do your last exams, which is like 16 to 18 usually.
Like junior, senior in US.
Yeah. And usually because it's quite a short experience, students tend to know each other quite well. You tend to, especially for me, like I came from like a fairly small town. There were maybe like 200 to 300 people in my year group, in my grade, if to be fancy. And there was about the same in the year above. And there was this story that went around the school to all our students. And let me say this right now: if anyone who knows me personally is watching this episode, you probably want to click off now because I'm about to share the secrets of our school to the world.
You might want to call people by some pseudonyms.
Yeah.
So I don't know this guy's name. I don't know this guy's name. I know that he was the potentially the head of the sixth form when I was in year 12. So he was the year above me, and he
like
would have been
valedictorian.
Not valedictorian. It's kind of like head of class, head of the grade or whatever.
Class president.
Yeah,
but kind of like
a student council type thing, probably. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Like imagine like class president in like the top year. So they would have like, they would have if the like say the press wanted to speak to students, they would speak to these kids. Yeah. There was a rumor that went around that
class rep is what we would call that.
There was a rumor that went around the school. I cannot confirm nor deny if this happened. There was a rumor that went around the school that the head boy had gone to a party one night, got extremely drunk off absinthe, and then and then woke up a few hours later with his trousers round his ankles, lying face down on the floor with someone eating a packet of crisps out from between his ass cheeks.
That was the most British sentence ever.
I've never heard such a British sentence in my entire life, bro.
A pack of crisps out of ass.
His trousers was down by his ankles.
So
okay, let's get to the important part. Someone's eating chips out of his ass.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, the allegations were salt and vinegar from between his cheeks. It was kind of like, that was kind of someone put a packet of crisps in between his ass cheeks and just started eating crisps.
All right, so I gotta say, first thing, this reminds me of like those sushi bars where people eat off of naked people.
Yeah, but it's like the cursed version for sure.
It's just chips out of some dude's probably unwashed ass.
Definitely unwashed and sweaty, probably.
This is totally some sort of sex crime if it happened.
Oh yeah,
it's be laughing.
Dude, that's unless he started this himself and was like, "Hey, do this."
I don't know who started the rumor. I don't know if it's true. That's the thing, is I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
But it's such a ridiculous.
Yeah. Ain't nobody making that up, bro. I'm sorry. Like, no one's gonna spend their time making that up.
That's really oddly specific.
Yeah.
It is.
That's the thing.
I've heard absinthe also gives you, or it's rumored to give you psychedelic effects.
Yes, I've also heard that
what
too.
it's known for.
I've
I've
never
never tried it. I want to. Well, I don't know if I should.
Yeah, let's do an MBR absinthe try on at VidCon. Let's
We
see how that
should,
goes.
honestly.
There's
yeah.
an episode, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
I mean, everyone's
we got to
calling
cross the streams. We actually got to rotate a blunt and then.
Yeah.
Some
The Nightmare Blunt and absinthe. You know, it's a hidden and
Show that on
absinthe.
YouTube.
Exactly.
We could
There you
probably show the alcohol on YouTube.
Yeah,
But
we'll
Yeah,
call it
yeah,
like.
you can drink on YouTube, sure.
Illicit substance. We might have to pass around like a mosaic to blob.
Yeah,
to each other.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
So-
really the whole story I have.
That
It's a
yeah.
whole story, but it's a whole story.
But it really is a whole story.
You know what
If you know
I'm
what I'm talking, yeah. If you know,
Yellow card.
Yeah.
Yellow card. Get what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, yellow card, yellow
yeah,
card.
we get
Both
it.
getting-
We get.
both getting one.
I just want to make sure you guys get the whole story.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, do you know how far the chips were in? Were they like,
That's
were they
what I was
far,
wondering.
or were they
Oh,
like
top
not
question.
far?
Whoever told
Were
me,
they
and
just
I-
kind of in the crack, or were they like
Dug
down
in.
in there?
Yeah.
So-
you know.
I remember,
Also, how much cake did the guy have too? That's
Yeah,
kind of an important
yeah.
question regarding.
I
variable.
can
That
barely
matters.
remember the guy. I can remember where I was told. I remember like I was kind of in the kind of like the lunch area, I guess. I remember I was told. I remember when I was told and where I was told. I couldn't tell you who told me, and I couldn't tell you what the guy looks like now because it's been like 7 or 8 years.
That's probably a good thing.
Since these allegations. But I think every like school, especially when you're that age, there are rumors that go around about like
Oh, yeah.
crazy things that happen at parties and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have another rumor, but I want to say that till later because I'm sure some of you guys have some interesting school stories, and we can kind of cycle round.
Yeah. Well,
background to mine.
we'll cycle Red Robin style.
Yeah.
So
All right,
yeah,
so who has the story most similar to that one?
I don't think anyone has one that is
Yeah,
that
I don't
similar.
know about that.
I do. Mine is kind of close.
Okay.
Go
So
for it.
yeah,
I have a
go for
story.
it. Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
start with this one.
Shoot him.
So, my middle school doesn't exist anymore, so I think I'm free to
Criticize
jab
all
at
you
it.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Memorial Middle School.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not bashing anyone because it doesn't exist anymore.
True,
So,
true.
there was a girl there who was known as Cheeto Girl.
Okay.
And
Okay.
eventually one day in the cafeteria, I'm like, why does everyone call her Cheeto Girl? And this guy was like, oh, because one day we dared her at lunch to shove a Cheeto up at her crotch. And she
my
was like,
gosh.
yeah, okay. And did it.
Wow. Wow.
We had a similar girl called Hagrid.
Oh, Hagrid. Okay.
Well, she
Alright.
wasn't. Yeah, I mean that was the nickname that went around.
Well,
And
yeah.
again, I shouldn't like these are all. I feel weird for bringing these back up because like surely like these people, if they heard the names, like if you're a girl and you hear the name Hagrid,
Hagrid. Yeah.
Oh, like,
No,
like, I
Kyle,
don't
your
know what
story
it
is
is.
surprisingly similar to Fox's story, like in ways I never
Yeah.
imagined. So that,
it's weird how people are putting food in their
like
orifices.
the
in
orifices,
school.
yeah. What is the obsession with shoving things in orifices these days? I'm not sure about that.
no
I imagine it was just like some horny teenage boy who dared to do it and didn't think she ever actually would.
Yeah, and then
But,
the Cheeto Girl did it, like unbeknownst to everybody.
did.
You know,
And,
Cheeto Girl went for it, man.
She kind of took the name with pride, as far as I know.
You got- that's what you gotta
actually
do.
respect that. That's kind of awesome.
I respect that. I
You gotta
respect
do it.
that.
You gotta
Me
do it.
too. Me too.
Any other details?
Yeah. Do you have any other ones or?
Do you have any other memories of Cheeto Girl? Like, did you ever speak to her in class? Do you have a crush on her?
I never spoke to her, but I remember she was attractive.
Okay.
And like she was an 8th grader when I was a 6th grader, which just kind of automatically
Oh,
makes it.
yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever see her eating a packet of Cheetos?
No, I saw her eating other stuff in the cafeteria. I sat with her once, so I guess technically I probably did talk to her. But,
Okay. Okay.
I was an awkward little dweeb at the time, so I probably didn't say too much.
And it was
Was
sixth
this
grade, which makes it even worse.
Or
Like,
after you found out? Like, was
Yeah,
this?
is this
when did you find out?
pre-Cheeto Girl?
I think people were just calling her that when I sat with her, and when she
Oh.
left, I was like, "So, where's that name come from?"
and they told you.
Oh.
And
Wow.
they're
Okay.
like, "Oh yeah, because she did this."
Hmm.
Yeah, just casually, as a matter of fact.
Casual,
Yeah, you know, she did that. It's fine. It's middle school. It's 8th grade. Weird things are happening.
Yeah. People are
Changing.
want to impress each other in middle school.
Yeah.
People want to they want to go the extra mile with something weird to prove
Yes.
something.
Definitely.
You know?
Like, we had kids jumping off the roof and seeing who would go higher, bro. Like, that's how crazy my middle school experience was.
Like right before summer break, the dumpster would get disgusting because it was like 100 degrees out where I was at, and we were dared to like whoever had the most courage would hop into the nasty dumpster.
Ugh.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Most normal
People did
Missouri activities right there. But yeah, you know.
yeah.
Most normal pastime.
Pastime.
Yeah. Well, dumpster down,
Hop
they
into the
call
gross
it.
dumpster.
All the
Well,
kids are
what we
doing
did.
back in them hot
Dumpster
summer
diving.
days now.
Well, yeah.
What have we
You know,
did?
back in Missouri, we like to do us some dumpster diving,
Well,
except there's nothing there.
There's nothing to look for. We just like jumping in them, quite frankly.
On those golden July days.
Oh, yeah.
Jump into those. Jump
I
into
find
those.
it.
Oh, gosh. Whew.
I find it so interesting what people do outside of the city because, like, you know, here, you know, we have an infinite variety of things to do and not enough time to do any of it. But like, I think of things like, yeah, we do have dumpsters, but
We got plenty,
you know,
a plethora of dumpsters.
we got a lot, but no one really does things in a way that's just like, oh, we're bored, we got nothing
Yeah,
to do.
you're not bored enough to do what we do in
Hell
our
no.
towns,
City
bro.
Hell no.
slickers. You city slickers. Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Us city slickers,
You
we don't
wouldn't
know.
get
I
it.
genuinely do
You wouldn't
not.
get
You
it
wouldn't
now.
understand. Now you would. And you never
One of
will.
our pastimes
never
were just
will.
daring each other to do something gross or stupid.
Yeah.
Dude,
or like going to the
like-
creepy guy's next door house and knocking on it, like ding dong ditching stuff. Like that was what we used to do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I have a story for that one. I
Go
have a
for it.
story
Let's
Let's
for that.
hear it.
Okay, well that opened
All
up
right,
a whole can
so,
of worms.
I'll start out. So me and my cousin, there was a house in the neighborhood where the door was just open. So we were like, I dare you to just walk into their house and see what happens.
That works.
Don't trespass in entering, I call it. Don't trespass in entering.
And so we went in, and nothing was going on. Just normal house. We're like, well, you know, we're not going to do anything, well, more criminal than this, I guess. We already just kind of walked in, but we're not going to take anything. We're just going to like stand around, and then we left. And it turns out we read the newspaper the next day, and the owner had died
Oh,
And-
damn.
and was in there while we were. in
Oh,
shit.
okay.
there. We
Okay.
didn't fears because we weren't that courageous. We like popped in. We're like, okay, we
Yeah.
gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And we ran
Amazing
out.
and everything you just said.
Wow.
And it turns out, yeah,
That's
the owner,
insane.
the door was open because they like had a heart attack upstairs or something.
Wow. That's horrible.
That was disturbing for 13-year-old me.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
must be
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So after that, I was a little more weary of like ding dong ditch type
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, bro.
I once got yelled at a cop for throwing a potato, and it made me feel really bad.
Why'd you throw a potato?
Who did you throw the
'Cause
potato
there
at?
was, okay, I was walking down the block. It was me and my little brother in like 2017, and we were walking by a restaurant, and they had a bunch of like sliced potatoes just on the sidewalk. I guess that they were throwing out. They were like old and hard. So I was like, "Hey, catch!" And I threw it at him, and he didn't catch it, so it landed on the sidewalk. And coming out of that same restaurant was a police officer, and he was like, "Hey, don't do that." I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I could ticket you for that. Hundreds of dollars. It's a misdemeanor for
Oh,
littering. And I was like,
wow.
I'm
Wow.
sorry. And he was like, pick it up. I was like, yes,
Hundreds
sir.
of dollars.
That is an
Yeah.
abuse of power, bro.
A little bit.
I felt so bad. And then I told my mom, and she was like, he was overreacting. I was like, okay. Because listen, it's my first time getting yelled at. I was like by a cop, and it's scary. I can't lie to you.
What?
At least
But,
your mom was cool about it.
Yeah, I know. I had another thing like that when I was like 13, where I accidentally looked like I was shoplifting, even though I completely wasn't. And I got yelled at by a security guard, and it scared me. It was a party city here in Brooklyn, and I was getting candy for a Halloween party that was the day after. And I don't know if you guys go to Party City, but they have this little area where it's a bunch of like one tiny pieces of candy. You get like 15
Yeah.
for $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so
They
they
got
don't give
little
you
scoops.
bags. Yeah. But at this location, they didn't provide you with a bag or a cart, and the carts that they did give you had big holes, so the candy would just fall out. So as I was
Yeah.
putting it in my hand, I realized that we didn't have enough space, but we needed more candy. So what I did was that I held my hoodie pocket open
Mm.
and was putting the candy into there, keeping it open, like not I had it open, trying to make it as obvious as possible that I wasn't stealing. But I didn't even realize that it was like could be taken as that. I just wanted to make sure. And then I get yelled at, and this security guard was big, probably like 6 feet, buff, but had pink hair.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Full on. So it kind of, I don't know, it was contradicting themes there. So I go over, and he's like, "Are you putting that candy in your pocket?" And I was like, "Yeah," completely unknowingly. And I was with my little brother, who was probably 7 at the time. And then so he comes over and screams at us for like a few minutes. And there's a bunch of cops there. He didn't call them on us, but we basically had to empty the candy out of our pockets and were reprimanded. And we felt really, really bad.
But you didn't shoplift. You were paying for it.
No, we were going to pay for it. Yeah, we didn't shoplift at all.
What are you supposed to do?
Exactly. Also, it was probably like $1, like 40 cents worth of candy too.
Yeah.
So it was a little unfair, and we had a lifetime ban from that store though. From that, he's like, "You'd never come in here again." And then I have many times since.
He wouldn't recognize you.
Yeah.
No, exactly. And yeah, from then, but that was my 2 scary cop stories.
Dude,
That's
imagine
about
your
it.
mugshot up on the wall.
Yeah.
Of like,
Yeah.
If you see this man,
$150 worth of sweets.
Exactly. Oh my god, that'd be horrifying. I recently did, however.
When I was about 7, I not accidentally, I intentionally stole some candy.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Probably about 7 years old. Like one candy bar. And one of those like bite-sized ones from the checkout line.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
fun size.
Oh sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I got home and felt so guilty. I opened it and flushed it down the toilet.
Oh,
I just I didn't even eat it because like
kid.
now looking back, I'm like, why don't you eat it? Because that's just as much destroying the evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're less likely to find it if you eat it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just put it down the toilet and ran away.
You unwrapped it and put it down the toilet, or did you just put it down whole?
I put it in and I flushed it, and then I just bailed and I like sweated in my room for a couple hours probably.
That's awesome.
I did that with a packet of gum once. Like I accidentally stole a packet of gum when I was like 14. But I did not. I put it in my like. I think I had my hands full or something, so I put it in my pocket, and then I forgot about it, and then I walked out, and I was down the road, and then I realized, and I was like, "Well, I guess this is mine now."
Yeah,
So
the statute
I
of
was like,
limitations is
only
run up.
like 60 pence or something. I was like, okay, well,
Right.
you know.
As an adult, that's happened to me a few times.
Yeah,
Like you
same.
leave something on that bottom part of the cart,
Yeah,
and
you just walk out.
No,
Yeah.
no one scans it
Right.
because you just don't even see it. Like, well, I'm not gonna take it back.
It's
And
yours
they're
now.
gonna write it off as a loss anyways and save taxes, so it's okay.
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
It's a win-win.
Accidental shoplifting feels really bad, though. I remember this all happened when I was like 13, but I accidentally walked out of Trader Joe's with a bag of knockoff Cheerios
Oh no.
because it was like my mom was
Happy-O's or
checking it
something?
out and I was holding the stuff.
Happy-O's.
Yeah, and I just was holding it, and then I forgot to give it to her, and we just walked out, and no one said anything, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm a criminal." No.
If the beepers don't beep, you're fine, man. If you're in the free, if the door beepers don't beep.
Yeah.
It's kind of on them for having crap security.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
you acknowledge it's bad though. Like
Yeah.
when I was at university, and I probably really shouldn't be saying this because this person, this was only like 2 or 3 years ago. There was this American girl I knew who she would go to pubs and then she would take the glasses afterwards, the pub glasses, and then like I asked her so many times, and she was like, "I have sticky fingers," and that was her excuse.
I have
Dude,
such
that's such an
sticky
American
fingers.
girl.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
had
too.
sticky fingers, so she just felt entitled to. Like she's a lovely girl, but she was like, that was just what she said. She was like,
That was her
have sticky
excuse,
fingers."
yeah.
Literally, and say, "Well, then wash your fucking hands."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Oh, that reminds me of
It's
this
on our Home
video.
Alone 2 shit right
Put it
there.
in post where this kid he took a glass home from the restaurant and his mom is grilling him like, "Hey, you stole, I'm gonna have to call the cops on you." And this kid is like 5 and he's like, "But I'm your son, don't do this to me."
Please! I'm just your little son! I'm your son!
I have a bit of a story related to that as well,
Okay,
but I
yeah.
don't know if I should say it. Maybe
Well,
I'll
do
say
it.
it,
Do
and then
it.
we can
We might
consider
have to squeegee. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We have to
Do-
cut it, but try to say it the best you can where
Okay.
we can get
Well,
away with it.
it's just
Salvage
okay.
it.
so
Yeah, salvage it.
when I was a child, and the person feels awful for this, and which is why I feel morally, I don't know if I can say this, but basically, when I was a kid, and this is messed up as well, actually. So I took a book out from my school's library when I was like 5 or 6, right? Prime reading years,
Yeah.
right? And my primary school was very, very good, but it's very, very strict. And there was this one teacher I had when I was in year 1, so I was like, yeah, again, 5 or 6 years old. And because I didn't have the book, because my sister took it, and I don't know if she was like playing a prank or whatever, she took it, she hid it. My mum was like looking all over for it and stuff, and she was like, "You've obviously lost this book." My school, my teacher, in response, said, "Because you lost that book, you're not allowed to take any more books out for the rest of the year." A 5-year-old
Damn.
cannot take another book out to
Banned
read
from reading
for the rest of the year. Like, okay, yeah, of course, the school was good and stuff. I was always going to be able to read and write, but that's fucked up. That is
fucked up.
Taking the gift of knowledge away from a
Do you not
5-year-old.
want me to have an education?
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
Do you not want me to have an education? Like I'm here
Right.
to read.
Don't get me
learn,
wrong.
and-
I had a not like it sounds like I had an abusive childhood. I did not. I had a great childhood. But there was some serious
Some
jiggery
moment.
pokery that went on.
Yeah, there
when I
was something was rotten in the state of Fox's childhood.
when I was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Some weird
So-
shit happened.
my story of how I almost got expelled is kind of similar. Kind of some
okay,
hear
that's perfect. That's perfect.
real bullshittery going on. So, I was in 5th grade, and there was a teacher who just hated me
Hmm.
because I went to a pretty strict Christian school, and I was just not well behaved. So that was, and not well behaved in a Christian school is like being very slightly unruly.
Yeah, just like
Right,
almost
right.
normal, you could say.
Yeah, so I was pretty much a normal kid and not like the goody two shoes type, and that was enough
Yeah.
to get a target on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Fair enough.
So our gym and cafeteria was kind of combined, where the cafeteria seats were just kind of off to the side in the gym. And yeah, so I was eating one day and I noticed the apple I had was pretty rotten, and I'm like, oh well, I'm not going to eat this. I'm going to prank somebody with it somehow. And they had these little holes in the ground that you put the poles in for volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
So I shoved the apple down in there and I tried to mash it in with the
Oh
lid
gosh.
that goes on the little cover, and it didn't fit, so it was just kind of sticking out with the cover open.
Yeah.
And who trips on it but the teacher that hates me the most?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Falls flat on his face in front of the entire cafeteria and like slides.
Oh gosh, you
And,
sliced too. Wow.
He was screaming like, "Who did this? Who did this?" And of course, I wasn't going to say it was me because I thought he was probably going to kill me.
Yeah.
As angry as he was. And it took like a few hours, but someone finally ratted me out. I guess
Oh, bro. Not the snitches.
after enough police interrogations, someone slipped, and he took me out of class and yelled at me for like probably 15 minutes straight.
Wow.
Which same
What did he
situation
say?
felt
What
like
sort of things
way
did he
longer
say?
than that. Basically telling me I would never amount to anything in my life. And
yeah,
I
why
was-
teachers do that?
Whoa.
Teachers do that. Yeah.
He went too far. He
Yeah.
went too far.
That's
And
way
I
too
was
far.
shook. Like I wasn't crying, probably because I was too shocked.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And so then after that, they seriously debated on expelling me from elementary school because I put an apple in a hole and my teacher tripped on it.
That is
And,
crazy.
it was like hotly debated between the teachers for probably a couple weeks
Wow.
until I guess they just cooled down and was like, "Hey, maybe we're overblowing this just a little bit."
yeah,
you
maybe
know,
so.
I just don't get that.
Well,
I
you're
don't
almost
know
done
if
too,
it-
because like you go to middle school to 6th grade, so like you're almost
Yeah,
out
and I was in
anyway.
5th grade.
Yeah,
I was
why,
in 5th grade.
Why kick you out
Like,
for half a
they-
year?
Giving you rotting apples in the first place.
How old
Yeah,
are you?
thank you, Michelle
Fifth
Obama.
grade?
So I would have been about 11, I think.
5th grade.
10 or 11.
Okay. So I
Probably
think,
11.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think we have like our years are like a little bit higher than your grades. Because I think
Yeah,
you'd be
a
like
little
10 or
bit off.
11. Actually, I
Yeah.
guess you'd be year 10 or 11 in year 5.
I was 10 in 5th grade, so
6th grade, I was 12, so I must have been 11. But
maybe like a year up or something. So
So
like your 5th
almost-
graders are 6.
I almost didn't graduate from that elementary school because of a stupid apple.
it's a good prank though. That's yeah.
And you know,
It
I
is a good
did so
prank.
much
It's a good
worse.
prank.
There was one time when me and my friend Peter, shout out to Peter, if some weird chance he ever watches this, we just hopped out the window in class one day when the teacher was on the chalkboard, and we just bailed. Like 5th grade, we were just like, "Hey, the window's open.
Dude,
We're
yeah.
not being watched."
That's so
And we-
awesome.
first story window. We just hopped out and we ran.
You're lucky because they had air windows only could open like 3 inches on purpose, so no one could get out of them. They had it
These
like
were
locked
these
in there.
big bay kind of swinging open type windows.
Oh, okay, so it was easy.
And,
yeah.
We just left, and it was like just a short hop over like a 3-foot wall, and we were gone.
You know, we
did
kind of did something just like
We
that.
did the traditional like copying our butts on the copier type
Yeah.
deal,
You did that.
and
Yes.
didn't get in trouble for that. And but it's an apple that'll get you expelled.
I had something just like the Apple story, except it involves cheese, and it's because of Diary of the Wimpy Kid blowing up, like right when I was in elementary school, cheese touch.
Man, you almost got the cheese touch.
So yeah, we would literally, it was like the cheese touch thing, but we would get these cheese packets from our house, like the American cheese, like the plastic stuff, and we would go into school and we would challenge each other to throw it in the weirdest spots and see how long it'll stay there. So we we went to the gym and we would just like throw it behind the bleachers. We would throw it on top of the basketball goals. We would throw it in the offices of teachers and just run away. And they got to a point where they couldn't find some of them, and it started stinking because it was rotting. And like American cheese rots. You wouldn't think it would because it's like plastic, but it actually does rot. Right. And it would be like in the janitor's closet, and they'd be like, "Where's the smell coming from?" And it would just be like a piece of moldy cheese right there. And it's all because of Diary of the Wimpy Kid. All because of that one book, bro. That's all it was. It started this mayhem.
So I never read that book. What happened in that story that made you?
So the cheese touch is like I'm pretty. Yeah, it's very iconic. Like there was this rotten piece of cheese, and they were like dare each other to touch it. And if you touch, you got the cheese touch, and you could like transfer it to other people too.
Okay.
But
I believe they describe it as nuclear cooties.
Yes.
In the screenplay.
Yeah.
I believe Sherlock
in the screenplay.
Yeah. I believe he says brother turned on sister, friend on friend. It was like nuclear cooties.
Yes.
I believe that is
that's exactly the transcript.
That is the exact yeah.
Dude, I've watched that scene so many times. I watched
that movie so many times. It's so good.
Same.
Yeah.
But the cheese touch, bro.
They had these potted plants that hung from the ceiling in the cafeteria in middle school. So we would sit there during lunch, and whatever we didn't like, we would just try to like basketball the food up into the potted plants.
Yes.
They were so high that you couldn't see them
until
the whole place just started to reek because there were like 14 hot dogs up there in this one potted plant. And
Dude,
what was our obsession with throwing foods, bro? That was like why did everybody throw foods for?
That became such a fad that they put security cameras in the cafeteria because of us. Wow. Yeah. And I'm not going to say that I took credit for that one, but I did it, but everybody was doing it.
Yeah, you just joined in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a sin. Not
literally
joined
everybody. In. Those potted plants were full of rotting meat.
Why were there plants inside, though? Like in a cafeteria? That's just weird to me. I've never heard of plants being in the cafeteria.
I don't know why they thought that was a good idea with kids.
It worked, so.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember when
they underestimate how awful children are.
They always do.
Unhinged. They have no fear. That's the thing. Is I wish I had like the confidence I had when I was like kind of a teenager, because I would say or do the most unhinged shit.
Yes.
Yeah. With no consequence. Yeah. You fuck it. Let's do it.
Like maybe you were too stupid, but I kind of miss that stupidity.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there is something kind of beautiful about like you just take risks and shit blows up in your face, but then you laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah, I try to stick to that too, because that's like it gets you into good situations sometimes, but also bad situations.
I guess to be fair, if you're in your 20s and you're throwing food around the office,
well, yeah, it's just not that like that, but like an adult version. You know what I'm saying?
Starts like stinking because there's rotten cheese.
Rotten American plastic cheese.
I think an adult taking a risk is like a stock investment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Nvidia, bro. Holy crap! I'm buying the down.
Or telling embarrassing school stories on a podcast.
Yeah, in front of possibly thousands of people. Yeah. My former friends will see, but
my friends would like these stories.
But same.
I guess like I don't owe it to anyone. Like I can tell some of these stories now because it's like I didn't really care for some of these people at the time or didn't even know them. But some of the stories that went around, I've got one that I want to tell like almost at the end because it's like a big finale kind of thing. But, so I guess like some of the stories, because I come from like such a close knit community kind of area. it's almost weird to come out with these. I feel like I'm having like a big here's my story kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there was some weird unhinged shite. And
Yeah.
and there's a chance that some people that know me will see this and then like share it onto the people who it's about.
Oh gosh. Well,
Dateline
more views for us.
expose show.
More views for us, dude. No, but I have a story that riffs right off like that childhood confidence thing. It's from high school. It's my big story, my Hallmark story.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, my high school had like 300 people, which is very small. I had a very tiny high school. I grew up in the middle of nowhere in the Appalachian Mountains. So
What's normal? My high school was like 3,000 people probably.
Yeah.
We had, like,
So mine was
500.
tiny. I mean, I had like 60 people in my entire grade, and then my grade was like very small too. But it was very rare that we got new kids to move to where I'm from. Obviously, Fox knows where I live. It is literally nowhere, and if you moved here, it's like very strange. So I was a junior in high school, and me and my buddies we act like juniors in high school, right? We talk to girls all the time. We did like the usual junior stuff. And one random day in fall, these two new girls came to school. These were the first new kids we've ever gotten in our school in like years in our grade. And they were twins.
And they're girls.
And they were girls, and they were Cuban. And it shook up the whole dating scene. These two girls coming, and by the whole dating scene, I mean like us 15 guys that went around like dating people. So it shook up us 15 guys, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna date one of them because I'm me, and I'm cocky for no reason in high school. I'm a junior, right? Everybody does dumb stuff when they're a junior, obviously. So I was in band. I was in marching band, obviously, which is lame looking back, but it was kind of fun during the time. And they joined band the same day they moved, and I was like, this is my ticket in, baby, let's go. So I started talking to one of the girls, right? And I talked to her for a few months, and it's going okay. I really like her, she's cool. And I ask her out, and she rejects me, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. So then 2 months later, I heard like some rumor that she said I was annoying or something. So I was like, how can you find me annoying? I got so mad. You know, when you're in high school, you get mad about everything, bro. Like if somebody says slightly something about you, it's a personal attack, and you go like crazy. So my only rational explanation was, well, I'm gonna date her sister. So that's what I thought. I was like, well, just because she said that, I'm gonna go after her sister, and I'm gonna get revenge on her by dating her sister. So it was Valentine's Day at this time.
Move.
Keep in mind,
throw that out there.
Oh, I know. They moved here during like fall time, like October, and this happened until like December. And I struck my decision in February on Valentine's Day, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till Valentine's Day, and I'm gonna ask out her sister. So I write this note and give it to her sister to ask her out. I was very romantic, right? I had like these chocolates I was gonna give her. I gave her the chocolates. It was Reese cups, and I wrote her this note, and I was like, hey, we should go out. You know, I was obviously awkward because I'm a junior in high school, so I didn't know what to say to her. So I was like, hey, ignore the fact that I liked your sister for half a year. We should go out, me and you. That's a great idea. I think we all should do it. And then she said no. She also rejected me. So then from then on out, I was the kid that got rejected by both new girls in front of everybody too. So it was like so bad, dude. It was so embarrassing. Yes.
Oh god, dude.
Because I had no shame. I had no shame about doing that because I never really did care about that stuff. But after she said no the second time, I was like, or like the sister said no, I was like, are you joking? Are you actually? So I walked away and I was like, wow, like this is what my life is now. And ever since then, I haven't asked anybody out. So, but yeah, that was the twice I got rejected, and then the twins rejected me. So that was what I was known for the rest of my high school career, was getting rejected by twins.
Yeah. It's known by a mismanaged crush.
I wrote her a note and everything, bro, and it was like,
yeah.
And I was kind of like, I wasn't like popular, but I kind of was popular because I was a teacher's kid. My mom was like really popular, so like I was kind of popular in like this 300 kids school. And to be known as that, after like I had like an undefeated track record too. Like seriously, I had like 5 girlfriends, bro. And I was like, let's go, dude.
Damn.
And then like these new girls come in, and I'm like, wow, this is my time.
Streak.
And they broke the streak, and she's ruined me ever since. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. You ruined me. So
You ruined my life.
Yeah, you ruined my dating career, buddy. It was your fault.
Dude, I had the opposite experience where this girl came and asked me out. I was probably like 16.
Wow.
In front of all of her friends.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I wasn't interested, but I didn't want to make her embarrassed, so I said yes for the time being.
Okay,
and,
okay.
Which was a bad idea.
Yeah, because that leads them on.
I just had to kind of tell her after that I just didn't want to embarrass you. I'm sorry.
I respect that. I feel like she'd respect that too.
No, she was
that's-
pissed.
Oh,
best
she
thing to
didn't
do.
respect that at all.
She was furious.
Oh,
And
gosh.
yeah, I got crap from that for like a year.
Wow.
From her or from more people?
Her and her friends
Yeah,
mostly.
they have like
Yeah,
cliques, obviously, in high
yeah.
school. So like the clique was
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
after
The
you.
hive mind.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The all
Yeah.
delightful children from down the lane.
Well, there was something just
I
like
thought it
that.
would be the
They-
right
they-
way to do it at the time because I thought, okay, I don't want to embarrass her, but I
Yeah.
also want to tell her pretty quickly.
I understand that. Yeah, I feel like that's a good
It
thing
didn't
to
work
think.
out though.
No, but like
Kind of like you said in high school, everyone takes it personally.
oh no, it's like a
And-
personal attack. Everything that's like said against you in your mind, you like take it to the highest echelon of anger for no reason.
Right.
It's never that
Yeah.
serious. It is never that serious. But in high school, you think it's serious. But no,
I- looking back,
Totally.
I still
Everything
feel like I
feels
had
like
no way to win that
world
situation.
stopping.
no, you didn't have a
Either
way
I
to
tell her
win.
no
Yeah.
and embarrass her, or I
Yeah.
tell her yes.
Yeah, no, you don't win there.
No.
You know,
There's-
it's the
there's no-
worst
there's
having
no way.
someone like you who you don't like back, especially when they're very, very committed and you don't have the
Yeah.
guts to.
And if they're friendly
It's
and
like
stuff,
They
asking
like,
out
know.
in front of everyone
Yeah.
she knew.
yeah,
That's crazy.
That's just a bad idea.
yeah,
It is a bad idea. That's putting everything on the line.
She wanted
like your
witnesses,
you know?
reputation and
For-
everything,
yeah.
and
She's trying to
Is this
corner
when
you,
you're
bro.
emo, Kyle?
I feel like I was kind of cornered. Well,
You,
what'd you
you
ask?
were cornered, yeah.
Is this when you were emo?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Okay.
She was like one of the like 4 goths / emo.
one of the 3 in the tri-state area. You know, it's like,
yeah.
You were saying there weren't enough of those, so you know.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys.
Oh, so you were roughed in with the alt clique. That's who hated you. That
Yeah.
sucks.
That
Your
does suck.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned on by your own people.
That's rough. Yeah. That's
That really
rough.
does suck. But there was something that my friend Reese went through just like that. And I know Fox has met Reese, which makes the story even funnier for him. You know, when like promposals happen at prom time, when like people ask you at the signs and
Yeah.
stuff. So my town is so small that like people would just drive to each other's houses and do this. Like they would literally like do a door visit. And
That's
Reese
awesome.
was at home, and you know, Reese was like, he's an attractive guy. He was tall in high school. Everybody liked him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every girl wanted to ask him, and they were like fiending for this. And one girl in particular came to his house like early in the morning to get first dibs to ask Reese out to the prom. And she had
Food early in the morning.
It's like shit. Becky's getting there for 8 a.m.
that's literally what it was like.
Fucking
I'm kidding. I'm not
midnight
even
launch with
joking.
the promposal.
And everybody had their
That's
signs and
awesome.
Like, as
balloons.
soon as the sun rises in front of his house and standing in his yard.
But like that's
Yeah, like
literally
a
what happened.
GameStop release.
Like you think it's a, like over exaggeration, but that's literally what happened. And she had a
That's
sign
awesome.
and balloons, and you know she was there, and we didn't really like. She was fine, but Reese didn't like her at all. And she knocked on the door, and Reese didn't want to answer the door because he saw who was outside. So he asked
Right.
his mom to go answer the door.
Oh no.
And his mom enters the door, and Reese's mom is like very enigmatic in nature. Like she's a very interesting individual to say the least. So she's like, "Hey, blank, what are you doing here?" And she's holding a sign that says like, "Will you go to prom with me?" Obviously. And she's like, "Reese isn't here right now," even though he's like blatantly like standing right behind her in the kitchen. Like you could literally see him in there. And she's like,
Reese is
That's
behind her going like, no.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah,
"Mom, say no,
okay.
say I'm not here, say I'm not here." And then she was like, he's at a friend's house staying the night. And then they left. And then Reese went out, me and Reese went out later that day to go eat. And they were there, bro. And at the restaurant.
At
we
the
went to.
restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. How small is this town? That's wild.
It's really
Oh,
small.
yeah.
It's real tiny. I tell you, there's less than like 1,000 people, so it's kind of crazy.
Wow. I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
But so
Yeah.
in long story short, she asked him to the prom, and after all that, he said no. So that was the entire story.
That
But-
always breaks my heart.
It was very sad. I felt bad for her. I really did. She was a cool girl.
Those
Yeah,
kind of
that
things are
sucks.
another thing where you just entirely put yourself out there.
Yeah,
And it's a pretty
yeah.
big risk.
It is a big
Especially
risk.
girls, 'cause they don't usually do it very much.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
We didn't
So,
think
like,
it was
you have to be
yeah.
delicate and stuff. You can't because I think more girls should like be a bit more upfront about their feelings, and I think the
Yeah,
way
it makes
that,
it a lot easier.
who does it is
Girls
like
are really
I don't know, the game's cat
confusing.
and mouse. Yeah, I don't like that. So anytime like a girl is interested in you, just be gentle with it, dude. Just be gentle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
I hope he
totally.
was. And he seems like well, I don't know if he seemed like gentle, but like he seems like he's a good chap.
He's good enough.
Yeah,
You're
good enough.
taken because you could just say, "Oh, it's nothing against you. I'm just already seeing somebody."
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
No fault of you. And
Unless
Yeah.
they know completely that you aren't, in fact.
And that's the issue. He wasn't
That's when
dating
it gets
anybody at
hard.
that point, but I think what was worse was that like,
with a reason, because
One
they're
of-
gonna ask you why.
yeah, you gotta make up an excuse. You could either lie to him or tell him
Like-
the truth, and either one of them will hurt either way. So
Like, don't ask why,
exactly.
because you don't want to know. It's not gonna be complimentary.
no,
You know?
no.
It's
Yeah.
But what made that
Yes,
worse was like one of her friends in her group like set up that arrangement for her to get there. Like he drove her, so it was like because if you're about to ask somebody out and you have their friend on your side, then you're like, okay, this is gonna work because like you already have an in with the buddy, like the buddy they were friends with.
good
And she's-
hype, man.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, he'll say yeah, like yeah, I'm sure he'll go with you, and then he doesn't. So that must have been very awkward for her.
It's devastating.
But yeah, it's just most normal tale from Appalachia right there. Most normal
I had a
Appalachian town.
few
That's
few
awesome.
hype man type friends who would hype me up probably too much. To
Oh, yeah.
kind of unrealistic
Yeah.
proportions, you know, and
Sure.
didn't always go well.
Yeah, because
Really?
you can't live
Were
up
you
to
overhyped?
expectations.
Yeah,
Oh
Damn.
no, that's bad.
like something I shouldn't do, but they're like, "No, you got this. I know you can," and then I just fail miserably.
Yeah.
I'm like, "You told me I could do it."
Was part of it though. It's part of it. I think it's better to go
Yeah.
out and make the mistake than to
Yes.
never do it and never have
Yes.
the confidence.
It is.
100%.
At the time, it
100%,
sucks, but later
Yeah.
on, you're like, better.
I'm
Yeah.
glad I did
I
it.
think
Yeah.
you lose your fear of rejection a little bit more as you get older and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
especially as you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
In high school, it's more devastating because you only know like 10 girls.
and,
Yeah,
and, then,
yeah.
and you're like always thinking like, what would everyone else say? Like everyone else is gonna find out about this. People might make
Because you
fun
see
of
these
me.
people every day for like damn near the whole year. So it's like they're going to be
Because even
judging
the
you
worst-
always.
Yeah.
So you're an
And
adult and
exactly.
you meet a woman
School is
randomly, you're like,
weird.
"Oh, she doesn't know my friends." It's really
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work
There's
out.
less pressure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no after.
The worst
effect.
thing is like the homeschool experience when it comes to like finding a crush or
Oh
something
my
like
Wait,
that.
you were homeschooled, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
He was.
Oh,
All
wait,
my
wait.
life.
I
The only
think-
time I've stepped
God.
foot into a school was to vote. For
Okay.
my mom to vote.
Oh, okay.
Genuinely,
You never
that's
went
it.
to school.
Never ever. Not
Wow.
once.
Interesting.
So I have like a very very unique experience there, and I suppose it explains a lot about me. But what I did do, and the reason I'm not like a social R word, is that I went to a lot of different classes and had community there. So I just kind of learned to be a person there.
Yeah, one of my best friends is
Um,
homeschooled, and he kind of did the same thing. They had like weekly classes. and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's that's how you do it. Homeschoolers are. I'll say it though. I don't have any. I'm gonna betray my people. They're mostly weirdos a lot of
Yeah.
the time. Like
Yeah.
the stereotypes are so real.
yeah,
because
they are. They're
generally
warranted,
it's
though,
like-
for sure.
Yeah, it's totally warranted because generally it's because they're kids that couldn't function in normal schools.
Yeah.
Or they're like hyper religious, and
Yeah.
both of
Yeah.
that. is,
Or
like,
they couldn't function and they're hyper religious. So it's like it could be the
Yeah.
worst of both.
No, exactly. So it's a rough place to be. So I never really liked homeschoolers. I had a few friends, but otherwise they weren't my speed.
Yeah.
Too
Did
weird.
you go to college? I
No.
refresh me on that.
I should be in college right now, but I'm making YouTube videos.
Yeah, we're making
So-
YouTube videos.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, bro.
But
My degree has
basically,
nothing to do with YouTube at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
waste.
there you go.
So
Yeah.
I think we talked about
I'm
that.
just
at
plugging it
VidCon.
out on my own. We'll figure it out. Basically, is my sort of thing. If I want to go to college in a few years, I'll go to college. But
Yeah, there's no
for the
time
time
limit.
being,
There's no time limit on anything, bro. You can just do
My
whatever
advice
you
is
want to.
just go for something you actually know you want to go for. Don't go for
exactly.
something-
Yeah, I'm not sure on anything. I'm like, I do want to commit 4 years of my life to this one thing and nothing else.
I went just because it's what you're supposed to do, and that was
Yeah, no, exactly. I kind of just had the idea of like, wait, this is a societal rule that I don't actually have to follow.
Yeah.
No, there's
because it's like,
any other way.
Especially for you guys,
Yeah.
because you have such huge student loans that like it is.
oh my god, exactly. I don't have the money for that. My
Yeah.
mom doesn't have the money for that. No one's got the money for that.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
about 50 in this
Yeah.
college.
I want to go. I'll make my own money for student loan.
Kyle, Steve,
But,
do you still pay yours
yeah.
back?
I'm about 50K in debt, but I don't pay it very much.
Hey, maybe
Fair
Biden,
enough.
man. Maybe Biden will get rid of it. He said he was going to get rid of some.
Hey.
Every politician comes out and says, "No, we need to cancel student debt." Like every single one, Republican or Democrat.
To get the
So I'm like,
21-year-olds to vote for him, but yeah.
You're just hedging your bets
Yeah.
now. You're just like, if I just
I'm
don't
like-
pay it on for long enough.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what if
Because
I
what are they going to
take
do?
the
Are they going to
rate,
come to your
right?
house and like
Yeah,
knock you out and take your thumbprint for your
know.
bank account? They're not going to do that, It's just going to be
No.
yeah. Same with medical
Your
bills
credit
here.
is a little
If you
bit
just don't pay
worse,
them,
but
They won't get you.
And I'm just
Fair enough.
I'm just paranoid. Like, what if I do pay it off, and then like that next president just cancels it?
Yeah.
Right.
After I
That would
already
suck.
paid it off.
That would suck so bad.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of feeling.
yeah.
I'm just kind of reading the room and seeing what happens.
Just wait it out.
Yeah.
Wait it out. Yeah, there's not a problem.
I got no student debt, and I'm happy about that. I'm not gonna lie to you. But so basically, my main social thing was theater classes, which
I can see that.
was a lot of fun.
So
And,
that doesn't help the weirdo image, though.
No,
I think it
not at
does.
all.
No.
I think, like from my experience, because I was a theater kid too, and like it totally got me out of my shell. I kind of wish I did it like now, because I wish I was better at improv. But
I can see
got
that.
me so good at like kind of public speaking and stuff.
Yeah. It's
and
amazing for
charisma.
that. Yeah. I
Um,
think that for the entirety of my kind of like personality now.
Yeah.
It's so useful. But it's great, honestly, and that's where my friend groups were. That's where many of my friends that I know to this day came from, which is amazing. Many of them I also have never spoken to since, but that is how it is. So that was essentially my kind of like school/high school experience. And in 2017, it was announced that we were doing, because it was musical stuff. And I started to do an internship. I was very involved in that one theater company. I still technically am employed there, but they call me in like once a month to do like a 1-hour shift. So I'm like, barely.
Yeah.
But basically, it was announced that we were doing the Addams Family musical. And as someone who had always had an interest in things like the Addams Family and just that kind of fun Halloween-y nature, I was
Kind of right up.
I was so yeah, it was perfect. So during the summer, I had like learned all the songs. I wanted to be Gomez more than anything. And eventually once the time came, I got the part. It's also why I have a liking for alternative women. I watched One Too Many, Wednesday Addams. When she's like 18 in that, she's getting married in that story.
Yeah, you got to clarify. You're not talking about
Yes,
the
to be
original.
clear, we're talking about
Yeah.
we're talking about 18 to 21-year-old Wednesday
Yes.
Addams who gets
Yeah.
married in the Addams Family musical.
Yeah, because
But
we
there are
have
a
to
lot
say
of,
that on the internet. We have to say it because we know it's
completely fair, 'cause
implied.
otherwise she's like an 8-year-old.
But
But yeah, to be completely clear, that's what I'm referring to. And that's ruined my taste in women forever, but that's besides the point. I guess it's not actually. I think it kind of goes in with the story. So I get the part, and that's kind of the first time that there's a sense of community, because I'm the main character in a sense. My first time having a lead role, and it was the coolest thing. It was exactly what I wanted, and I ended up making all these different friends there, and it's so much fun. And we don't want to say goodbye. Once showtime happens, it's over. And this is early 2018. And so I decided to start throwing parties and inviting the cast back. Just the essential ones that I like the most, to my house, and we'd order pizza and just hang out. Whatever the hell 13-year-olds do at a party is what we did.
I was going to question.
I was imagining like 17, 18 during this.
Yeah, no, we were little kids. We were 13.
oh my gosh, that's I guess you were 13 in
Forget
2017.
how young you are.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking,
crazy.
Like 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I
that's
was
wild.
13 when
How old are you
Fortnite
now?
was big. I'm 19 now.
Holy
God.
crap, bro! I'm young and I'm old as hell. Jeez.
No, listen, I'm turning 20 in 15 days. So
Okay.
Okay.
I still got my last 15 of
I forgot our birthdays were so close, bro.
Wait, when's yours?
In how many days is that?
It's the 4th today.
It's the 5th.
It's the
today.
5th day.
Oh shit! Is it? Oh fuck. That's not good.
18 days. My birthday.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
no way.
yeah.
Wow,
It's
look
like
at
1
that.
month.
Yeah, no,
What's
VidCon's
awesome
only
is
43 or 4 days away, which is crazy.
Huh.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm
That's
so excited,
wild.
bro. I'm
We're
so
knocking 'em out here.
excited,
We're growing
bro.
up. Yeah. So there's this girl. We're gonna call her Carla. That wasn't her actual name, but I don't want to actually say it in case someone I know, like, I don't know.
Fair.
It's like
Fair.
just a story. So I ended up having a crush on her, and just kind of throughout the production of the show, but we never spoke much. But then when she started coming to the parties, we talked a little more. And I was, to be clear, the most awkward kid in the entire world. I had big glasses. I was like frumpy looking. I wore sweatpants and like Star Wars t-shirts exclusively. It
And
was
now you're the guy
bad.
that gets hit on all the time.
Yeah,
so it's kinda
you're the
hard
one that
to-
gets
There
hit
we
all the
go.
time now, so.
It's
a reversal.
it's switched around, but not at the time. Yeah, there has to be that. They play into each other.
Yeah.
I'm still that guy on the inside, but we basically were doing all these parties, all these things, and I was very close friends with someone for a long time. I'll call him Bill. I'd known Bill for years, and he ends up being part. Like it was my first experience of middle school drama because I didn't go to middle school. And my first time experience, I guess middle school / early high school, like I guess late middle school. And it was bad. It was so catty and toxic, and everyone wanted to know that who I had a crush on because I wasn't good at hiding it. But eventually people kind of like figured out that I liked Carla, and but I never admitted it to anyone or myself even. I just be like, no. I sometimes
denying it to yourself is wild.
You're just bad at hiding it.
Yeah, because my thing was at the time and still is, it's like I don't want to like really be into someone if I don't know them yet, and have that kind of mental energy, but sometimes you can't really help it. And as a 13-year-old especially, it's kind of a different deal.
For sure.
So there was one time, it was a rolled ice cream place on my block. It's not there anymore. It was called Treat Yourself. Rest in peace. And I was there, and I took all my friends there. So I had the idea, well, I want to get to know her better. So maybe if I become friends with her first, then I'd see if anything would actually work.
Makes
sense. So I call her up. I'm at this ice cream place, and I say, hey, so I was wondering if you'd like to come. Like, there's this rolled ice cream place by my house, and I was thinking, like, I was wondering if you'd be free to come anytime soon. And she's like, oh no, I'm busy this week. And I'm like, okay, well, let me know if it happens. Let me know if you're free later. I'm just like, okay, yeah, she's busy this week. And then so everyone in this friend group, then a minute after, she tells everyone that this happened. And I didn't know this until I see them all again, and everyone's like, oh my god, you asked her out, all this stuff. I didn't mean to ask her out. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I didn't mean to ask her out, but I accidentally did.
To hang out. That's kind of
yes, exactly. It's different, but I wasn't familiar with the
13,
environment.
14. There's no
exactly.
nuance. There's no nuance back in there.
There's no nuance. It was just either you're into them or you're not, and you know. So everyone was talking about it, and I felt so fucking embarrassed because she'd be there and they'd be like, yeah, why are you into her? Like all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I hate this so much.
Get all red face and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was the worst. It was horrible. And so eventually that friend group fell apart. I stopped liking her and ended up liking another girl in that group.
You dirty donkey.
Yeah,
quick.
Yeah.
No, I realized that I didn't actually have anything in common with her. I just thought she was pretty. But
Fair enough.
She played Wednesday, so you know, there you go.
13-year-old mind wants what it wants.
Exactly. And then I became addicted to Fortnite and kind of just had my vice be that back in 2018.
I thought you were gonna say
vice.
some sort of drug and not
fentanyl. I got addicted to fentanyl.
And then I got addicted to Fanta. Things got a little weird.
I literally thought the same thing.
Bro.
I was like, is he about to come out with an addiction story right now? That's wild. That's what I thought he was gonna say. I was like, well, I guess Fent, bro. I guess Fent's where we're going.
No, man, this is like season 5, 4. This
got a little bit weird for a couple of years.
I hit the shrooms, man. Got a little strange for a few years, but we're back now.
Oh my god, it was rough. But that was like my main, and like so I've technically never been purposefully, like I've never asked anyone out who I didn't know already liked me. So I've technically never been rejected because I've just kind of pussyfooted around it or accidentally asked them out. Like my first date, according to the person that I hung out with, was a date, even though I thought we were just hanging out at the park on a blanket. This was in 2020. I had less of an excuse. I was 16. But they were like, yeah, I had such a good date with them. And I was like, what? No, that's not what happened. Yeah, it was scary. I don't. It's a bad feeling to think your first date was just with some random girl you don't like. But
I was the same way, and that I was so afraid of rejection that I would wait until it was pretty much a sure thing.
Yeah, no, I'm I've been in a solid relationship, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I know I am so fucking, I can't deal with that because it's the type of thing. I'm one of those people who stays up at night, thinking a lot. So it's hard. It's rough. But hey, I don't need to. I'm good.
Fox could vouch for me. There were early days of YouTube when I was up at like 3 a.m. Like, what if this shit doesn't work out? I've already gone all in. Like,
dude, I get like that quite a bit. I think
we've all had that.
I'll tell you what. I used to not be afraid
cost fallacy
of. I used to not be afraid of rejection, and then over the past, like, since COVID, right? Since the nightclubs have opened back up, anytime I'm with my friends and then I go off alone, I just get harassed by girls. right?
Really?
And
How
and
so?
so
Harassed good or harassed bad?
harassed bad,
Yeah.
harassed bad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Okay.
it started one time I was trying to get with a girl. I can't remember. I was so drunk. I can't remember this. I was in a club. I was rizzing up a girl apparently. And
Okay.
then my friend tells me the next day, I wake up, my friend tells me, oh yeah, you were like really rizzing up this girl. And I was like, oh, really? Like, what happened? What went wrong? Because, like, obviously I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not there.
Yeah.
What went wrong? And he said, oh, her friend went up to her and said, don't get with him. He's clapped. Which
Oh
means,
gosh.
which is like
What does that
ugly.
mean?
Yeah,
Like, ugly.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Dude,
come on.
Clapped
no.
is bad.
That's
Clapped is
fucked
like
up.
No.
really bad.
An
then-
insult to you is an insult to Jimmy Neutron, and we can't.
Yeah, we cannot stand for this shit.
Then a couple of months later, I was out with some friends, and then I was out with two friends. One of them was super drunk. And for some reason, I can't exactly remember why, but we were split up. So there was one less drunk friend, one super drunk friend, and they were trying to get back home. And like my phone was on like super low battery. I was on the bus home, and then I realized that they weren't on the bus. I think we had been separated at the bus stop, and it was a super packed bus, so it must have filled up, then left, and then they did not get on it. And then I was like, oh crap, like I'm gonna have to get off this bus. And then I get a text from the friend, and then basically when I say like I'm gonna get off this bus, everyone's like, yeah, we'll have a little bit more room. And then I get a text from my friend saying like, oh, we're on the next one, don't worry. So then I don't have to get off the bus. And then as we're going down, going back closer to home, this group of girls start like basically harassing me, saying I'm an awful friend for not going to help my friend. Because I guess they knew about the situation, and they actually got me sad. I was actually like tearing up because they were just calling me like an awful friend.
Yo,
Dude,
what?
just out of nowhere. And
that is
Pull up your
unwarranted.
phone, like they texted me. They're on the bus
Yeah.
behind me.
no,
We're
I was
good.
saying that, but they were like, "Oh, no. I mean, you know, we were all drunk and stuff." But
Still,
oh,
man.
and then there's one. Okay, so there's last Halloween, and I need to get a prop for this, right? So,
Where's this going?
So last Halloween, all right, I'm at this party. This is the one where I was dressed as a pirate and I almost faught a guy.
Yeah, okay, of the Captain Morgans. Yeah, yeah.
We'll move all that. We'll
Yeah.
move all that away. Basically, there was this one girl, and I could hear she had an American accent, and I was like, oh man, like I had just been in the States a little while before. So I started talking to her. I was like, oh, like I noticed your accent and stuff. Where are you from? She's like, California. I'm like, oh wow, I was actually in California like a few months ago. And we start talking, and then her friend comes up, and her friend starts being instantly like, I don't know if she was negging, or if you guys know what negging is. It's kind of like being mean to lower someone so that you can kind of get with them. A lot of girls, I don't know if it's the same in like with American girls, but like I know a lot of like us over here, like bullying banter is kind of like a very common thing where
No, it's super common.
okay.
Yeah.
So but
What
this
is
Girls
Oh,
will like
these
tear you
British
down
girls,
in a
man.
joking way.
so
And yeah.
basically this friend comes up and starts, you know, saying a few things that I'm like, okay, well that's a little bit like out of line, that's a little bit out of pocket. And eventually she notices that I had a Polaroid camera with me. And she had also brought her camera because this was like a big, you know, this is a Halloween party. And so at one point, she takes a picture of me with her camera, like out of nowhere, and it flashes. And I've got like super pale skin. So when it comes out,
Like a ghost,
I'm
bro.
just like a ghost. I'm completely white.
Oh, man.
Right. And then in response, I take my Polaroid camera, and she's like, no, what? And then it comes out as the worst fucking picture
Oh my gosh.
I have ever seen. Right.
That's like analog horror, bro. That is literally analog
Yeah, you
horror.
gotta see it.
That's
You
rough.
gotta
Dude, I
see it.
can't even see. Are you in that?
No,
No,
he
this is
took a
her.
picture of
That's
her.
her.
Yeah,
So
Oh,
she
okay,
took a
okay,
picture
okay.
of me when I wasn't. I really hope this.
I can
Kind
see
of
it. I can
I
see
can
it.
see it.
This.
So
Yeah.
this
I
is
just
what-
thought this was the one where you were really white, and I was like,
So
I don't even see you.
This was she kind of like, you know, took a picture of me out of nowhere, and I took a picture of her.
Yeah, in retaliation.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, "No, you had to get rid of that." And I was like, "It's mine, bitch." I never saw her again. And then a couple of minutes later, I almost got into a fight over a bottle of Jack.
Over Captain Morgan.
And then,
I don't know if it's Captain Morgan's.
sorry, yeah, no, it was Captain Morgan. Sorry, it was a Captain Morgan's mango and pineapple.
Yes.
And the
One of the
next
best ones.
morning,
Jared
I
knows
wake
your
up-
knows your past.
I know the stories. I've heard it multiple times now.
the next morning, because I was able to successfully defend and get my. Basically, a couple of minutes later, a guy asked me like, "Hey, what you drinking there?" And I was like, Captain Morgan's. He takes it out of my hand, and then he's like, "It's mine." And then I was like, "What is mine?"
Oh
And
yeah,
then
you told us about this.
basically, I got everyone. I was like, I started pushing him. I was like, "Fucking like, give me my my bottle back." And then I
Did you
saw my
pay
mate
for it?
over, and I called him. Sorry.
Did you pay for it?
Oh yeah, I paid. Yeah, it was mine. And he just
Okay,
snapped
yeah.
So I called my mate, and then everyone was like gathering around, like, "Oh crap, these guys!" And then eventually, because I knew it was mine, I was like, "Okay, let's just say what it is, so everyone here knows what it is." And he says Captain Morgan's, and I said Captain Morgan's mango and pineapple.
Bong.
And then he looks at it, and he's like, "Well, this is yours." But the next morning when I woke up, I was like, after all these times I've been harassed by girls on nights out for no reason, I got my fucking lick back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, keep that as ammo. Keep that as ammo,
It's
bro.
so much. It's societally so much more unacceptable for a guy to take a photo of a
Yeah,
girl unknowingly than for the opposite to happen.
Yeah.
I
only
feel
did it
like
'cause she
people
did
could
it
have
to
came
me.
after you for that.
I only did it because she did it to me, and I got my.
Well, you
lick
know
back.
that, but other people don't know that, and that's where it could have got dicey.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it was I don't know, it wasn't that kind of vibe. If other people saw it, which I think other people did, she had her friends still around her. But I took it, put it in my wallet, pocketed it.
Yeah. Just in case.
Okay, that
A
makes
little
it
ammo
creepy.
for next time. A little ammo for next time,
Yeah.
though.
I saved it in my wallet next to my most important thing.
No, honestly, it was in there for a little while. I need to put it in my scrapbook.
Okay, yeah. Just
Just
have
so
like
I
a
have that-
clapped image scrapbook. There you go. That'll work.
Yeah. Like that
Who's
was like
clapped now.
You've been immortalized. You're actually clapped now.
yeah, honestly, it was and then I had one recently, but that was just kind of like, I don't know. It basically, I just have bad experience when I'm with my friends, and then I go back like off by myself. I think like there's just, I don't know, some girls just see me and they see me as like an easy target to like go bully. And then,
What? That makes no
Horrible.
sense, bro. That's weird to
dude,
me.
it actually hurts sometimes. It actually does.
What is the reason?
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you
imagine.
think? Like,
I don't know.
why?
Well, I think it's just because I look very like I don't know, like I'd be like, you wouldn't go up to like a huge guy and start doing that or
True.
whatever. Whereas like I've got like a very I don't know, like innocent look to me.
Kind of easy going, maybe.
Yeah, just
Yeah, exactly. So I won't like I don't know why, but like I guess I'm the target a lot of the time, which
wow.
is not always amazing. But you know, every now and then I will get my dubs.
Yeah.
every
yeah.
now and
Probably
then.
opens some doors though, because I imagine some of those girls are like flirting when they're
Yeah, surely.
negging you at the
Don't
same
get me
time.
wrong, like I do get a little bit of attention on nights out and stuff. It's just some of them. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
like just bad
But
experience.
those will stick out more than the good ones anyway, because
Oh,
they're
yeah,
I remember the bad ones so much.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I had a story. One of
Another.
the most.
Yeah, okay.
One of
Let's
I-
make
I-
this the last one probably, because we're going on like 2 hours.
okay, because this is the one I wanted to tell earlier.
Do it.
Okay,
do it.
This
perfect.
was the
Finale.
most complete party I ever went to. So
Okay.
just imagine, 16 years old. There was this kid around school. I'm gonna have to disguise his name. We'll call him Richard, right? Richard was a serial liar, and he's a dick.
A liar and a
I was gonna ask.
fiend. A liar and a fiend.
I was going to ask if that was the origin of Richard.
Yeah, like basically, he once said that he had a house party that had like tons, like 200 people at his house, and he was considering doing it again. And he was saying that to one of my friends, like a girl that I knew, because he liked her, right? Despite the fact that she had a boyfriend, he liked her. I think he thought he could have a go. He tells her that. She calls him out because he like this was maybe 2 or 3 months in to sixth form, so kind of a new school. We're gonna be here for 2 years. We're like 2 or 3 months in. He seems to have a crush on this girl. He tells her, I once had a party with like 200, 300 people. I'm thinking of doing it again this weekend. She calls him out. She's like, okay, let's do it. So she and some other people make this huge party group chat of like 200 people. And this guy, Richard, basically, he wanted to throw this party at a house that wasn't his. He moved to us, and he had like a host family, basically. And so this party happens. He tried to try to get it like kind of reduced, but
Yeah.
there are 16 and 17-year-olds packed through the door. He was being babysat by someone who was like 22 or 23 at the time, who also had friends around. So it was a mix of like 17-year-olds and like 22 or 23-year-olds, right? The highlights of this was that somebody Well, I slapped a kid with mayonnaise.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Most
He never
normal
forgave me.
British activity right there.
He never
Right.
forgave me for that. He never forgave me for slapping a kid with mayonnaise. I had a friend
That sounds
who
like a euphemism.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a panic attack and she wanted to hold a knife, which I thought was a bit weird.
That
and
is-
I gave her one.
To calm
Why,
down.
Yeah,
why would you
calm
give
down,
her
yeah.
one?
No, I gave her a butter knife. I gave her.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
I thought it was something like
Actually,
kitchen
that's the
knife.
friend.
fall asleep in a
Some
dog's bed.
defense would make calm her down or something, I guess.
No.
Yeah,
There
that's-
was
yeah.
a fight. A kid got kicked out, and there was a fight. Someone did cocaine off the toilet.
Yeah. That's
Damn.
So
disgusting.
you got the toilet and you got the thing behind. Someone
yeah.
just did a line of that.
That is crazy.
Right.
Off the tank.
And I'm trying to think if there was any other crazy shit. But the piece de resistance. Well, actually, there was two. So after the
There's two
party,
sisters.
I get home and I look on Snapchat, and Richard posts to his public story, "Who took a shit in my bed?"
Oh my god.
Right. So,
Oh man.
so basically, then everyone sees this, and around the school, there's like rumors like, "Who was it? Who is this?" And it gets tracked down to someone. There was a person there who people noticed passed out in the bed.
Okay.
Now, she said that it was the dog. Like, basically, she said that the dog took a shit. She stepped in the shit, and then she went upstairs and slept in the bed.
I think you could tell if it was
Awful
smeared
excuse.
there
Yeah,
or if
you
it
can
was
tell.
created there.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, no one else saw like steps in the house, so we all knew. And from there on, I mean that your fate is sealed.
Yeah,
Like,
you're screwed.
everyone knows.
You're the bed shitter.
everyone-
I mean, you are. You're just the bed shitter.
You're the one who
Yeah.
puts the bed.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, the kid wasn't his house. The babysitter rats on him. He gets kicked out the house. And they say, because you threw a party in here with 200 people, we got this kid
Yeah.
evicted from his like host family's house.
That's
Um,
wild.
Dude, screw that babysitter,
He was,
bro.
was he an exchange student or?
No, not exactly. But and also on top of that, whilst he was there, I saw this. He confessed his undying love to my friend, whilst her boyfriend was stood right next to her. And so, in the space of one night, he got rejected by his crush. Someone shit in his bed, and he got kicked out of his house. And someone did
Jeez,
go
bro.
toilet.
Jeez.
And I swear,
Like the folly of man.
I swear, because this was the most complete party I ever went to.
That is wild,
And-
bro.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like
an
one of
absolutely-
everything happened there.
I'm a little bit annoyed too, though, because everyone was so drunk and so like fucking hyper. I didn't get drunk. That was the one night when I was a kid that I was like the designated sober person. But at least I can remember it. And
I was gonna say
a lot of his friends were not like that popular, so they hadn't been drinking. So they were all fucking steamed by the time we got in there.
Yeah.
They were all like they were doing beer pong and stuff. And yeah, one of my friends almost got into a fight because one of the older kids kicked him out because I think he had like drank his alcohol or something. It was a bit of a wild night. I can't lie.
I would say
And
That
yeah,
is
I don't know if
some
you guys
wild
watch
stuff.
It's Always Sunny, but I just keep thinking of that episode Who Pooped the Bed.
Yeah.
It's just like a whole murder mystery over who pooped the bed the whole time.
see, this is the thing is I feel bad for kind of saying this on a podcast because it's like this girl that I barely knew, the most embarrassing moment of her life, and then
It's
I'm
not like anyone can identify
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
no,
There's plenty of bed
no.
shitters, bro.
So
No,
vague.
She's just one in a million line of bed shitters, you know?
I guess, yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty.
She comes from a lineage.
Yeah, a long line. Her grandmother and grandmother before her were bed shitters as well, and now she just carries on the torch for sure.
And the kid I slept with.
It comes up on 23andMe. You have
Yeah.
a high propensity for shitting the bed.
Shit, dude. Damn it.
Well, I think we've gone through a lot of good old fashioned
Yes.
stories.
Lots of
Indeed.
childhood, lots of adolescent stories.
I have plenty more still to come.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do. There might be another part.
That will have to wait for another episode.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video and listening to all of our crazy stories from our youth. If you enjoyed, let us know. If you want to see more episodes like this, let us know. I've been Raymundo2112. We have had Brugly, Fox Akimbo, and on this side, at least for me, I don't know if I'm gesturing incorrectly, we have Dire Trip. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all in the next episode every Sunday or
See you
so.
later, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.